It's not over. The shock's not over. The emotions aren't over.
Survivors of the attempted assassination of former President Trump sharing their disbelief at what they witnessed. We have complete coverage for you tonight from the former president's current condition, the latest on the would-be assassin, and the message to the nation from President Biden. Tonight, President Trump remains out of the spotlight, choosing to communicate with the country on social media after a would-be assassin nearly took his life and ended up killing one of the president's supporters instead. We have complete coverage for you tonight. First, former President Trump reportedly spending time with family in his inner circle. Sources close to the former president says he's in a good mood after a bullet grazed his ear in that attempted assassination that federal authorities are now treating as a case of domestic terror. This afternoon, the president left his Bedminster, New Jersey resort and traveled by motorcade to his plane to fly to the Republican National Convention. Now, cameras were not allowed on the tarmac, both in New Jersey and Wisconsin, so no images of the former president today. Now, more than 24 hours since the assassination attempt, authorities say they still have no idea why a 20-year-old man with little evidence of violence or political activism tried to kill the former president. The FBI says Thomas Crooks opened fire on the president and his supporters yesterday. Just moments later, a counter sniper with the Secret Service returned fire, killing him at the scene. Today, crews were seen outside both Crooks' home and his place of work. He lived with his parents and was working at a nearby senior care center. The assault-type rifle used was legally purchased by his father. Crooks' parents are cooperating with authorities tonight. Several years ago, he donated $15 to a Democratic group, but was currently registered as a Republican. Right now, it's unclear whether politics had anything to do with the attack. Those who knew him described Crooks as a loner who was bullied in high school before graduating 2 years ago. Earlier tonight, President Biden delivered a rare Oval Office address to the nation following the assassination attempt. He called on all Americans to cool down their rhetoric and listen to others that might disagree with them.
Here in America, everyone must be treated with dignity and respect, and hate must have no safe harbor. Here in America, we need to get out of our silos, where we only listen to those with whom we agree, where misinformation is rampant, where foreign actors fan the flames of our division to shape the outcomes consistent with their interests, not ours. Let's remember, here in America, while unity is the most elusive of goals right now, nothing is more important for us now than standing together. We can do this.
The president met with the Attorney General and the Secretary of Homeland Security in the Situation Room this morning and will do so again tomorrow for a briefing on the investigation. His campaign has pulled all of their ads off the air in light of yesterday's shooting. As for the Trump campaign, they have not put pause on that, sending out several fundraising emails since the shooting. The FBI has been warning for months now about the threat of political violence. Secret Service protection for the former president was actually increased in June, and there were 4 counter sniper teams on the scene like this one who took out the shooter. The Secret Service now facing intense scrutiny for missing the shooter so close to the president on a rooftop. House leaders demanding a hearing as soon as possible, and the head of the Secret Service has already agreed to testify. We're also learning more tonight about the man killed in the assassination attempt. Pennsylvania Governor Ben Shapiro announcing the name of the man who spent a career in service to his community. Corey Comparator was a fan of the former president. The retired firefighter, like so many others, had brought his family to the rally and waited hours in the heat to get a good seat. But just minutes into the speech, he found himself shielding his family from the bullets, giving his own life to save theirs.
Corey was a girl dad. Corey was a firefighter. Corey went to church every Sunday. Corey loved his community. And most especially, Corey loved his family.
Former President Trump has backed a GoFundMe set up by his campaign for all of the victims of the shooting. As you can see, it's raised nearly $3.5 million so far for the Comparator family and the 2 others now recovering from their wounds. Tonight, the former president has arrived in Milwaukee, where he is expected to appear tomorrow for the first night of the Republican National Convention. Trump will formally accept the Republican nomination for president a 3rd straight time. He also still needs to announce his pick for vice president. Again, the former president has not been seen in public since he was rushed to the hospital, instead communicating by social media. The party's chairman says he remains confident there will be no security breaches at the convention.
We have thousands of law enforcement agencies from all over the state and all over the Midwest here, and I think they're doing a great job. I really do.
Now, one change to the program so far, former Trump ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, who challenged him longer than anyone for the nomination, will now give a speech during the four-day event. The attempt on President Trump's life drawing reaction from leaders around the globe. Ian Lee tracking tonight's international response.
Well, Donald Trump has survived an assassination attempt.
The assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump shocked the world. Reactions came pouring in.
This was an attack on America. It was an attack on democracy.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called the attack an appalling crime. On social media, many allies sent their best wishes for a speedy recovery, including leaders of the UK, France, Canada, and Japan. Around the world, politicians have increasingly found themselves in the assassin's crosshairs as extremists look for extreme solutions. In 2022, a gunman shot and killed former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe while he was giving a speech. Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico survived an assassination attempt, being shot several times. While President Trump has had a rocky and at times tense relationship with many world leaders, the condemnation of political violence was unanimous, even from America's foes. A spokesman for Xi Jinping said the Chinese leader expressed his sympathies for Trump. And Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov wished Trump a speedy recovery. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.